Okay. Hi, everyone. Um, still reading Brene Brown's book and doing other coursework. And I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm going to try to get them out in 5 minutes. It's very hard. Um, but something I've been thinking a lot about since reading is fear and anxiety. So I think in the book at some point she talks about how her like timeline and her time management skills and how it's fear that elicits behaviors. And so I think a lot of what I've been thinking about is what am I afraid of and what behaviors come from that, and then how am I going to be honest with my team about it. And I think when it comes from when thinking about the DEI stuff, I think something I need to be clear about is like what I value. And I've been thinking about those values a lot, and especially how they relate to DEI. And I think that would help my team kind of understand my passion and my thoughts and plans a little bit more. So that was interesting. I think another piece that really stuck out to me, being in this leadership position, is that she talks about how other people's emotions are not our jobs. So giving people the chance to be like, okay, this is too much for me. I need a timeout. I think that is a huge takeaway for me. DEI is such a vulnerable, difficult topic, and everybody is in such a different place when it comes to it. And I think that I've run into situations and meetings that I think people need a timeout, and they don't know what to do, and they don't know how to ask for it, and so it ends up being a lot of defensiveness and saying things you don't mean because you don't have time to process them and figure out what you mean before you say it. And so I think that timeout strategy is something I really want to use in any leadership setting moving forward, because I think it's one, empowering everyone to be able to have a choice and be like, this is not the time, or this, we've hit the point where it's too much for me, and I need to take a break. And I'm sure once somebody says it, other people are always in agreement. So that was really good. And then the rest of the section was, I think, armored leadership and or like the armor you wear. And so that was tough. I think as a human, or I guess for me, I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like the natural instinct for me is to approach things with armor on. And I think to approach things from the daring side of everything she just suggests is going to take a lot of practice and repetition. Um, yeah, I just think it's really hard. Um, I think leadership is a difficult position to be in, and I think that I personally don't aim for perfection. I know that that is just highly unrealistic for me, and I'm human, and everyone else is human. I don't expect perfect. I don't really think that it's okay, but I do, when she talks about how people who are looking for perfectionism, it kind of goes back to their childhood. I guess I see that. Like my parents, if I got like a 98, they would be like, what about the 2 points? They wouldn't be like, oh, you got an A. They would be concerned with the 2 points I lost. And I think that luckily for me, that didn't stick. And it just makes me not want perfectionism, because that was crushing. And so my approach in that is always to be accepting of everybody's strengths and weaknesses, and encouraging people's strengths. Yeah, so this reading was a lot. I have so many other thoughts, but my 5 minutes are coming to an end. I think something else that was eye-opening was that the numbing and the resentment conversation, and how resentment happens when you lack boundaries, and then that leads to numbing. And I think that that is huge when it comes to professional life, but also even bigger in personal life. and professional life, both ways. It's huge. And I think that that is a conversation that needs to happen in both places because you bring home your professional life. It is very hard to keep boundaries. And when your loved ones are at home, you want to talk to them about what's happening at work. And I think that something I know some of my friends do with their significant others is they ask their significant other if they have the bandwidth to hear what's going on at work because sometimes people don't have the bandwidth. But yeah, that numbing piece was really interesting. I am now over my time, but I will see you guys next time. Bye.